Welcome along to the first installment of 3 videos where I'm going to be constructing a progressive house track within Logic X. I've got a few elements already in the arrangement here. I've got a kick sound which is basically being activated via Ultra Beat, just a simple sample there. And then I've got a clap sound just to layer over the kick. This helps us to give us a nice groove and a platform to build off. I've also got a sidechain trigger ready to go. This is just a simple audio file with a short attack of the top of a kick, and it just creates a ghost trigger that I can activate our sidechain compressors later on as we progress through creating the song. So if I can show you here, I've got a basic template of a few elements. I've got some hi-hats and cymbals here being triggered by the samplers. I've got some various synth sounds of different textures, all to help us build the track together quickly with some basic synth ideas. And I've got some send and return effects, some tape delays, and some different sized reverbs. It just helps to get your creativity going quicker when you've got a template to build off. And I've also got some groups here in case we need to bust things together at a later stage. So let's get straight into creating some sounds. The first thing I want to focus on is a sub bass for us to build a real nice bottom end to construct the rest of the track over. This is just a simple ES2 patch. I've got a EQ on there, a bit of overdrive and a slight amount of chorus to give it some width. I'm just going to try some different riffs to see if we can get a bit of a groove going. I'm just going to fire up the inbuilt keyboard here so you can see what I'm playing. Just hit Command and K to bring this up in Logic X. I think I want to try something quite fast-paced to give it some real energy down the low end and add a sense of drive to the track. Yeah, something along these lines would be great. So let's record that in. So that's roughly what I wanted, but we're going to go into the piano roll now and just do a bit of tweaking. So it's going to bring the loop off and just adjust this MIDI region down a little bit of the clip. Go into the piano roll here, and we can see what we've just recorded in. Let's remove that note, because I don't need that. Get the clip in shape. So adjust that back. Let's have a little playback. Yeah, it's pretty much what I wanted. So I'm just going to extend the loop here. I'm just going to adjust a few of these notes just to get the groove how I wanted it. Yep, that's sounding really good to me. I'm just going to adjust the velocities here because the velocity hits on this particular patch do adjust the texture and the sound of the synth. So I'm just going to bring them so they're all in line. Yeah, I think that's about the right sound. And that's sitting really quite nicely, creating a nice amount of energy. So I'll probably come back to this bass sound at a later stage and look at some compression and some sidechaining to get it working better with the kick. But for now, we'll move on to like a mid bass to complement this sub bass that we've already got in the mix. So I'm just going to play around with a few ideas, see if I can get something to work in the same groove. Yeah, I think something syncopated like that, adding a lot more interest between the kicks, is really going to work. So I'm just going to bring up the piano roll here so you can see what I'm playing in, and we'll record this riff in. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was looking for. It's not quite what I had in my head. So let's go into the piano roll here and do a bit of adjusting to see if we can get this groove working a bit better. So let's do some tweaking here on a few of these MIDI notes just to get the groove sounding a bit better, a bit more swing to it. Because at the moment it's a little bit flat. It's a little bit too straight for my liking. So I think some adjustment on a couple of these first hits would be good. Maybe pull this one across here. So a slightly later hit. Yeah, I'm liking the groove now here at the beginning. So I'm just going to delete these notes here and just tweak these first few notes just to get them sounding exactly how I want them. And then we'll copy them across. So I think they need a little bit of swing to them as well. So I'm just going to select them all and utilize the quantize here in Logic. I'm going to select the Swing C preset. And it just adds a little bit of natural swing, really helping things groove along. So I'm just going to copy these MIDI notes across. Now I've found the riff that I'm looking for. Just put those towards the end of the clip. Get rid of that note because I've got these 3 hits here. Just going to double check that they actually swing in the same groove. So I might just adjust a few of these velocity levels here just to get the sound right towards the end of the riff. So I'm just going to quickly open up the compressors I've got here. This is just a analog tape compression. Just adds a bit of texture to the sound, a bit of general compression. And then I've got another compressor after that, just helping control the dynamics of the sound, making it gel a lot better and sit in the mix and behave. So as you can see, the attack's not too aggressive to let the bite of the sound through. And I've also got a small amount of limiting happening on the harder hitting notes just to help things stay in order. So let's quickly move on to another sound just to layer over these 2 bass sounds we've already got in the mix. Just adding more texture and more interest to this groove that we've currently got. This is from the ES2 synthesizer with a little bit of overdrive, and I've got a channel EQ there, just taking off some of the lows and a little bit of excitement happening at the top via the exciter plugin. So let's try playing in some ideas over this. I think I like the first part of that riff. That works quite well. So I'm just going to delete the rest of this. I'm going to go into the piano roll here. Just going to reduce the loop area. I might move a few of these notes around just to get things working a little bit better. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. That works. So I'm just going to extend the loop area. I'm just going to highlight these MIDI notes here and apply the 16 swing C, just so it works in the same groove as our other bass lines, just to help things gel together. So I just soloed the sound here. Even though I like it, it's a little bit lackluster and I want to add a bit more stereo spread to it. So I'm going to utilize the send and return functions we set up. This is just a small room reverb. This helps to add a bit of space to the sound. I just want to bring up the compressor on this sound too, just to tidy it up a little bit, help control some of the dynamics and make it a bit more constant. As you can see, not much gain reduction, only a little bit. Fairly fast attack, but letting enough of the bite of the sound come through. So I'm really quite happy with the groove we've got going on at the moment. A great platform for us to start building more sounds on top of. But before I do, I just want to head back to the original bass sound and just see if we can add a bit more control on the dynamics with a little bit of compression. Nothing too drastic, just to kind of give it a bit more of a consistent sound. So even though we've got a nice sound going on, there's still a lot of clashing happening, and that's mainly to do with the basses hitting at the same time with the kick. So I'm going to utilize the sidechain function. And these are compressors I set up being triggered by our ghost channel here, audio 1 and the sidechain. So we head back to the previous sound we just created, and I activate the compressor. You can see now we're getting some serious gain reduction, all being triggered off that sidechain ghost channel. So I'm going to do the same on the other bass sounds, same settings. And what this does is it just helps duck the bass sounds when the kick is present, creating more room in the low end and just helping the kick punch through the mix, which is really important. So now we've got our bass sounds working really well together and also grooving with our kick. It's time to move on to some percussive elements in the next video.